Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Well, even before joining INSEAD, I was already working at McKinsey and my salary was almost the same as what a post-MBA consultant would be making. From a monetary perspective, it absolutely did not make any sense for me to go and get an MBA degree. But still I did it because I wanted to transition from my analytics heavy role to a strategy consulting heavy role. Now that was one of the primary reasons why I went ahead for my MBA. If you take a step back, the career transitions that we are talking about could be for a bunch of different reasons. You don't like your job, or you feel that you have created a lot of shackles and you are not able to express your creativity at work, or you are not able to grow. The reasons are plenty, but still we want to go ahead and have that career transition. The problems that we face are the same. For example, Apple, the world's largest company by market cap, is facing that problem today, the transition problem, right? They have always dependent on Foxconn for manufacturing their Apple devices, whether it's an iPhone or whether it's an Apple Watch. Now, with all the stuff that is happening in China, they are struggling a lot to transition from China to India manufacturing base, right? It's not easy. Transitions are very difficult because you are moving from a very comfortable place to an uncomfortable place. In this video, we are going to talk through three things specifically about transitions. Number one, how do you think about transitions? Number two, what are the factors you need to consider before you actually start transitioning? And number three, what are some of the things which will help you motivate to finally accomplish that transition? The first thing, how do you think about transition? If I take a step back, at INSEAD, almost 80 to 90% of the students transition from one career path to another career path. And the two angles that they take are they switching their function? That is, are they moving from marketing to strategy, sales to marketing, or technology, IT to some other function, product function, so on and so forth. The second one is, I'm currently in the IT industry, I want to move into, let's say, retail industry. I'm in the retail industry, I want to move into journalism industry. Absolutely doesn't matter which industry you're coming from and which industry you want to go to, but the transition from one industry to another industry is what people were looking forward to. So, two ways, function and also industry. The third way, which is applicable to a lot of young professionals like 0 to 3 years experience, is skill-based transition. That is, do you know Excel? Do you know SQL? Do you know any other particular skill that can be used somewhere else? Now, what you need to remember is moving across a function, a geography, an industry, and also a skill is extremely difficult. Depending on where you are right now, if you are a B2B sales manager in a specific industry, you might want to move from B2B sales manager in that industry to B2B sales manager in a different industry, right? But you can't say, I'll move away from sales in retail, now I'll go and work in operations in e-commerce, right? Doesn't work. You need to have at least one strong point that you say, this is my strength, and using that particular strength, I will switch. I moved from analytics services then to analytics at consulting. And then I built my problem solving in consulting. Then my next career transition was based on problem solving. So you move from one location to another based on that one strength, what you have. Write down your resume and see what are the 2 or 3 words that are repeated quite often on your resume. And that potentially is not necessarily your strength, but it could also be your experience, and hence you can leverage that to move into your next role. If you have any questions related to this particular part of the video, please do press on that like button and also comment your stuff so that let's start discussing, right? So how do you transition? First, how do you think about transition? Number one, industry, function, your skill set. See what is your strength, leverage that and move to the next step. That's in short what you need to know. The second thing is, what are the factors that you need to know before you transition into a different career? The first thing that you need to know is salary, right? Monetary gains, whether we like it or not, is a very important factor. Now, if you move into an industry where traditionally it is not known for good salaries, do you really want to move into that industry? That's a question you need to ask for yourself, right? I wouldn't do that. I would transition to an industry which probably pays me a lot in the long run as well. So see the salary aspect. Number two, what's the culture in the company and what's also the culture in the industry as such. Every industry has a specific set of culture. If you're going and working in a government job versus a startup company versus a manufacturing company, you know how the cultures differ. The third point that you also need to know is what are the companies out there in top, because in that industry or where you want to transition, because you can probably go and talk to these people and get a deeper understanding of the role that you are looking for, right? One is salary, second one is culture, third one is people connect. The fourth thing that you also need to know is how do you crack interviews in this space. I'm linking two videos over here. Number one is with respect to career path in consulting, and the second one is career paths in product management. Please go through those videos to understand if you are thinking about transitioning to either of these career fields. The final thing is how do you motivate yourself to move into that space. Now, as I already mentioned, the world's biggest company has a problem with transition. Similarly, you and I will also have problem with transitions because we don't want to move out of our comfort zone, whether we like it or not. That's the fact, right? Hence, what you need to have is a peer group which can help you with your ups and downs. The second thing that can help you is a cohort-based learning mechanism. I'll give you a link for consulting-based cohort learning mechanism, but figure out what are some of the other cohort-based learning mechanisms available out there to transition into a specific field where you are looking forward to. The third one is, of course, a higher education degree. Now, higher education degree has a lot of costs associated with it. It also takes a lot of time, but the benefits are also pretty obvious. But if you know exactly where you want to go, you might not even need a higher education degree. So think about it. So these are the 3 points, guys. If I just have to recap, number one is, hey, why and how you should think about transition. Industry, function, skill set based transitions. The second one is what are the factors you need to think about when you are thinking about transition into a specific place. One, salaries. Second, culture. Third, the people over there, the network. And finally, what is it that you need to know to crack these interviews? And finally, how do you motivate yourself? Create a small peer group, attend a cohort-based program, or go get that higher education degree. That support system will help you move forward quickly. I hope this makes sense. Please do press on that like button and also subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments box. If I can answer, I'll definitely share my opinions. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.